Should people with high functioning autism feel guilty about their autism? In this video, that is what we're going to be discussing today. But before we get into the video, make sure you've checked out my previous video where I talked about high functioning autism as a label and why it's hurtful for autistic people, because I cover a lot of points in that video which relate into this video. But anyway, let's just get into this video. Well, hello indie people, I hope you're doing well, because today we are going to be talking about high functioning autism yet again. But the whole reason why I'm making this video today is really because the guilt side of things has been eating away at me a little bit, especially because the channel's grown so much over the past year. I mean, we've gone from 2,000 to 3,000 to 10,000 in a year, which is just amazing, and I'm really thankful for people who have supported the channel, especially over the last few months. The more I've grown, in terms of the YouTube channel, the more I've come to realize that, there are people who, kind of question my autisticness by saying things like, you don't look autistic, you sound very high functioning, you're very eloquent in what you say. And it really got me thinking, to be honest, that, I'm making these videos talking about my experiences, though I can't represent everyone, and I honestly try not to, because there are people who are non-speaking autistic people who, as much as I would love to sit here and say I relate to their experiences, I honestly can't. And weirdly enough, I feel guilty being able to communicate my thoughts, be able to share my experiences, because it's like, for people who are non-speaking, they don't get the opportunity to, or if they do, it's very limited. But anyway, because of all these different things, it's just kind of perpetuated this guilt feeling that I've pretty much always had. But to kind of go back a bit, we have to really go back to when I was diagnosed as a kid. So I was diagnosed aged 4, 5, somewhere around there. And because I was diagnosed early, I got support through the school, so transportation to and from school. I basically was placed in a specialized unit for people with autism, ADHD. Because I was placed there, they were able to help me develop things like communication skills, how to interact with other kids and things, and just all of the stuff that, especially being a young kid, I wasn't very good at, especially with the communication side of things as well. It took a long time for me to be able to get to this point now. And I must appear a certain way, because people say, you're very high functioning, you don't represent autistic people, it's just, oh. And the thing is, even though I had help, and I needed help at the time, especially during school, I still don't think I was worthy of that support. Now, my parents obviously thought I needed support and got the support that they needed because I got diagnosed and, school came in and all of that stuff. But even if it was a new challenge, a new thing that had come up, and, I wasn't sure how to do it, in my own mind, I was still thinking, I should be able to do this, because, I'm high functioning, I'm articulate, I appear intelligent enough to convey a point. I still had these challenges, and these challenges were basic things, to be honest. So they were like going to the shop, using transportation, looking after myself, being independent, all of these sorts of things, that somehow people just do naturally, and I wanted to do, but, they were just things that were stopping me. Either it was myself, like I didn't have the skills, or just the kind of intuition that people, non-autistic people have, just to be able to do stuff. It wasn't like that for me. But even though it wasn't like that for me, I was still like, I should just be able to do these things. Even today, as someone who's 28, who is able to communicate my thoughts, say what's wrong. But even though I appear to be doing well, it doesn't necessarily mean I don't struggle with things on a daily basis. I constantly struggle with remembering to do things. Like, honestly, I will put everything in my bag for my working day, get into the car, my fiance drives, because I don't drive, because the whole process of just, getting into a car and learning it is just, it's honestly mind-boggling to me. But anyway, besides that, get into the car, I get to work, and then I'll remember that I forgot something. Like, that's how bad my memory is. Even things to do with the house, you know, my fiance looks after most of it because a lot of it's to do with, you know, picking up the phone if something goes wrong, or you know, if, you know, something's coming to the end of a contract or something, you know, it's all about picking up the phone, trying to negotiate and stuff, and it's just like, I can't really do it. It's like, what do I say to these people? What am I actually asking for? You know, if they say something that I don't understand, you know, how am I able to communicate that I don't actually understand what they're saying? You know, it's a whole process that I go through my mind, and this is daily. This is literally daily. Even in my normal job, when I'm talking on the phone to someone, you know, because it's part of my job, I can't, you know, just put the phone down. You know, it's a process that I go through every single day. And then also I feel guilty because these, again, are things I should be able to do, you know, and then I think about people who are non-speaking, who heavily rely and have to rely on other people to, you know, be able to communicate, you know, what their needs and wants are. You know, they heavily rely on people, you know, to be able to do the basic things, you know, whether it's going to the toilet or, you know, just getting out and about, or, you know, just all of these different things. Even communicating, you know, communicating what they are thinking, what they are wanting, you know. Now, I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, or, you know, get my point of view, you know, but quite honestly, when people say you don't look autistic or you are high functioning, you know, it's like, I should not feel guilty for that, because it's other people's opinions, other people's viewpoints based on the little to no knowledge that they might have sometimes, which is perfectly fine, because this is why I do videos like this one. It's why I do videos on autism in the first place, to help educate and to, you know, just help the general public understand autism a little bit more. But if you experience kind of what I've experienced, you know, let me know your thoughts. And just remember that, you know, your challenges, you know, whether they're big or small, maybe it's, you know, not being able to talk to people on the phone, you know, because it's just a whole thing. You know, just remember that your challenges are valid, and people shouldn't be invalidating you because they think your challenges are inferior. So basically, when people try to put you down, don't let them. Remember your value. Remember who you are, you know, is the best sort of person. Because I think if you let that get to you, then it just, I don't know, it leaves you in a position where you feel guilty and not being able to open up and think that, you know, you should be able to do stuff even though you might struggle with it, and you kind of push yourself in this direction where you try your best to, you know, appear not autistic to people, and that is what messes people up at the end of the day. And I think if, you know, someone had told me this, you know, I probably would have taken better care of myself years ago, and I probably would have been in a better position now. But, you know, I'm telling you this now, you know, just remember your value, remember who you are, and, you know, be proud of who you are, you know. And yes, we all struggle with stuff, you know, but remember, you know, we can talk about these things. Talking and just being accepted is the way forward. And also saying that autistic people should be able to do more because they're high functioning, and, you know, people say that they're high functioning because they're able to communicate. I think you might benefit from the video that I did previously, which again is linked down below. It'll probably be on screen now. Make sure you check that video out because I do cover a lot of points there. But if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button for me and subscribe if you liked what you see and you want to see more videos like this. Stay you, stay indie, and I'll see you next time.